Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Catty Crypto here. So sorry for the lack of updates today. You just have to sometimes bear with me on these ones. It got up to 42 degrees in my flat. Having a broken back, not able to go out and just not be hot was impossible. So yeah, had a really bad day. So I turned off the computer, turned off the screens, and I just admitted defeat, got into bed and laid there dehydrating until I threw up. I'm much better now, so I've got a video for you folks in the works for the Lunar Classic Layer Burn Channel and this one here. So as it stands, the Binance main withdrawal wallet has moved with circulating supply. It's as simple as that. There's no other way to put it. The fact that this wallet has moved for circulating supply in itself is not good. It can be seen as good, especially if they're going to stake it or something like that. But in the event of what most people constantly bombard me with, saying it's users, let's go down the route of its users. We've done so much coverage on the side of it being Binance's actual coins. Let's start treating it with the amount of attention people obviously want the users side of it to be treated with. And I'm just going to lay it down for you. If this is a malicious user, I wouldn't say we're stuffed, but we're probably going to have to walk down the route of a fork. Now, why do I say that? Well, because if TERRAREBELS get power, and by getting power, what happens is, what I mean by that is, Terra Labs provided all of the governance updates and everything like that before the proposals, things like that, amongst other validators across the board. But they're the ones who have total control because they have the repository software code base that all of the validators use, meaning that they are able to make any changes that they like at any point. If TERRAREBELS get into full control by handing over this software update, 2/3 of the validators accepting it, then you sort of catch the drift. That means all of the other validators would be on the other code base for TFL, and all of the validators that chose to accept it would now be accepting updates from TERRAREBELS, meaning that TERRAREBELS has some form of control over the governance in a sense, because yes, they're going to be writing the proposals and things like that, but this whole situation with malicious actors, who's to say that it couldn't come internally? We don't know who did it pre-hand, and everybody wants me to focus so much on both sides of the coin that I think it's fair that we start doing this and treating everything and making sure we're covering all the bases. Now, in an event that there is a malicious actor, it is explained in here when reactivating staking. It's in the pitfalls and concerns. So it's in here, and it pretty much states that they would fork in the event of a malicious actor. Let's find the proposal. No, it's this one. Ah, yeah, I think this is it. I say, okay, right. Concerns, pitfalls, concern. Re-enabling staking could result in a BFT attack, where 2/3 of the validators by staking power are malicious actors. Is a powerful attack for all blockchains. However, given the imbalance and the community-owned Luna and the staked Luna, the attack becomes more plausible when delegation and staking are re-enabled. We mitigate this attack in two ways. First, we only open up the existing validators in the first 60 days. At an attack in this time, it could only come from the existing validators who have already demonstrated their commitment to faithfully running the chain. We don't know if that's true. That's just them assuming, and assuming things isn't good. While we acknowledge a non-zero chance of such an attack, we believe it is highly unlikely. Further, from a game theoretic perspective, staking would bond the user's coins for a period of 21 days, during which time the attack would negatively impact the market price. Attacking the chain will result in financial loss to the malicious actors, which further strengthens the argument that the attack would be unlikely. If a wealthy individual or a group were to have purchased hundreds of millions of dollars to attack the chain, given the market cap of Lunar Classic in UST, they would be entitled to do it as they have paid for it. But in this situation, we would roll back to a snapshot before delegation and fork the chain. Okay? So in the event of a malicious actor, which is looking like, if this is users, it looks like they're building up for something. So yeah, it doesn't look like the preparations that are being made, in my opinion, are actually liable. You answer me in the comment section, folks. Do you want to see a fork of Terra Classic? You can answer that in the comment section. I will be sure to have a look. But yeah, this all rolls over to this, and that's why I'm bringing that up with the fork situation, is because these still have not been addressed. No one apart from myself really is making an attempt to get these addressed. People feel like I'm just pestering and stuff like that, but really I'm not. I'm trying to figure out who owns these coins so we can figure out what their angle is and if it is actually going to be safe to re-enable staking, because yeah. So going over to now Terra Station and this proposal, I've put out a tweet pretty much stating about who does this actually affect, and it affects everybody making transactions on chain. You would all pay that extra 1.2% burn tax. Okay, it does not affect an exchange's maker taker fees if they executed off chain. It just goes on the users. And yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going around about people saying that the burn's coming into effect this week and things like that, and we just don't know these things. We just don't have those kind of updates to hand. We don't know. We only know what people take out of the Discord group as screenshots and things like that, and sadly I can't do things like that, because whenever I do something like that I normally get moaned at by someone for leaking information. So I'm kind of stuck when it comes to actually providing you folks updates that have context to it. So yeah, folks, that's pretty much all I've got out there for you today. Just stay safe. As you can see, my message box is absolutely flooded all the time with messages, but I do go through them. I do cycle through daily and make sure that I'm getting back to people as much as possible. So if you have got a question, feel free to shoot it over. We will do that for you. Remember, folks, we're always here for you, okay? Regardless of any other projects that come, go, throw their toys out of the pram, we're still going to be here. The Lunar Classic Let It Burn channel is still going to be here. And believe me now, there's going to be all sorts of hell to pay if certain things don't actually happen. And no one's actually preparing anybody for this. And I'm just sort of sitting back thinking, well, yeah, you're all jolly now. But when you don't get what you want, and when it doesn't pan out the way that you thought it would, do you know what I mean? Who are you going to go and moan at? It's not, I'm not happy with the transparency levels at the moment, folks, as you can tell. So yeah, let me know what you folks think about this whole situation. It's no good them keep telling us, is it, oh, soon or this, but then they're leading this charge. They should be keeping you all in the loop, but that's just me not having a pop, my own personal opinion, which I'm entitled to have. But yeah, I really not wanting to see a fork. So the way that we're going to obviously prevent this fork happening, if we're to walk this route with TERRAREBELS, is to pretty much figure out who owns this, to figure out if they're a malicious actor or not. Right or wrong? Let me know in the comment section, folks. Trade safe, stay safe, don't trade on emotion, trade on facts where you can. Yeah. And it's not financial advice. Catch you in the next one. It's so hot.